But for now, it's viewer topics. So if anybody has any topics that they want to bring up, questions, concerns, it's tough to tell people to Hakuna their tatas when they're overhyped. Hakuna your tatas. What is it? De-stress your chest. Thoughts on the importance of backwards compatibility for new consoles? Because I know some people think backwards compatibility is pointless if you already have the older consoles. I like some of these. Viewer topic. Let's talk about Death Stranding. I think backwards compatibility is incredibly important. I don't mind the idea of making a backwards compatible system, and then a few years after the system comes out, making a system that removes the backwards compatibility. I think that's totally fine. I like the idea of, especially with this last generation. With this last generation, we got the Pro systems. This is the first generation that we had the Pro systems, which were technically more powerful systems. So I like the idea of coming out with the PS5 that has PS4 backwards compatibility, and then later on making a PS5 Pro that only plays PS5 games and that now plays PS5 Pro games that are stronger games technically, but doesn't play the backwards compatible games. I think backwards compatibility is incredibly important because it helps bridge the gap from the old system to the new system. We are collectors. A lot of us here are collectors. So the idea of selling our old system to get the new system is outrageous. But that's a reality for a lot of people, whether it's money, whether they just don't care about the games, the collecting in some way. That's a reality for a lot of people to have to do that. I like the idea of them being able to go and trade in their old system for the new system, which then for retro collectors brings down the price of the old system, makes it easier for us to get into that market. Thank you, PS3 games, for being so cheap. So when they do that, they don't have to buy the new system and say, oh, well, I only have enough money for 1 or 2 games. Now they can say, I'm going to sell my old system, I'm going to get the new system, I might get a game or 2, but I can still play my old games in the interim while I wait for more games to come out, while I wait for games to drop in price. I like that. I think it's important. I think that when people get out of gaming, I think that system transitions are probably one of the biggest times that it happens. Someone who right now has a PS4 or an Xbox One or a Switch would probably get out of, if they were looking to get out of gaming, the easiest way for them to do that is to look at the PS5 and say, I would have to buy a whole new system with a whole bunch of games. I don't feel like doing that. It's less of a commitment for them to say, I would just buy PS5, maybe get a game or 2 that I'm really interested in, and still play my PS4 games. And now go back to the old PS4 library, which has gone down in price, and say, oh, well, I can also play these games on my new PS5. As they start to phase out PS4 and PS5 become more affordable, it's easier for them to then get into the PS5 games. It's a nice bridge, and I think that it's an important bridge. It's something that needs to be maintained. Yes, if you have the old system, keep playing the old system. But if you're going to keep playing the old system, what's to get you into the new system? What is going to help you make that full commitment? It might be difficult, and you might look at that wall and you might say, I don't feel like doing it anymore. I don't feel like transitioning into the new system. Sorry, I got super lightheaded all of a sudden. Let's go back up here. The VR Smash Brothers thing. The VR Smash Brothers thing, I think, is pointless. I really don't have an opinion on that other than I think it's pointless. It's not like you can play it. So I think it's only to watch the computer play it, because the problem with Nintendo's VR is that you have to hold on to it. They never made anything for you to strap it to your head or set it up on a desk. So it doesn't really function. You can't play the games that way. And from what I saw, yeah, what I saw for Smash is just a viewing mode. That's stupid. Sorry. I'm sorry to be so brutal about it, but it is stupid. Robert Pattinson is officially Batman. Yes, they announced today that he has officially been signed to play Batman. I think that that's awesome. For anybody who doesn't like Robert Pattinson as Batman, get over yourself and stop thinking about just Twilight, because that's what it is. Nobody who is complaining about Robert Pattinson being Batman is looking at all of his movie work as a whole and saying, I don't really know about this decision. What they're looking at is sparkly vampire Edward Cullen Twilight character and saying that that's not my Batman. Get over yourself. Look up some of the other work that he's done, because I have seen him in other movies, especially some indie movies and stuff. He's done a great job in those movies. He was great as Cedric Diggory for as little as he was in those movies, in the 2 Harry Potter movies. He's a good actor. And for the people who are complaining about brooding, oh, he's so brooding. They ruined Edward in the movie. Edward wasn't that great of a character in the books either. I read those books. He was better. He was definitely better. But for the people who are, oh, but he's so broody, you're upset because the guy playing Batman is known for playing a brooding, dark character who doesn't like being around people. Are you not familiar with Batman? Is the only Batman thing you saw from the 1960s? That is Batman. Yeah, that's Batman. What is the problem? The one thing that I did like that somebody posted online was an idea that he should actually play Terry McGinnis, and you bring back Michael Keaton to play old Batman and have Robert Pattinson play Batman Beyond. I loved that idea. Let's go back up here. So, yes, Robert Pattinson as Batman is fine. We questioned Heath Ledger. We questioned Michael Keaton because he was Mr. Mom. We questioned Chris Evans because Chris Evans was Johnny Storm in 2 subpar Fantastic Four movies. Not horrible. I don't think those movies were horrible. I just think they were subpar. We questioned a lot of those roles. We questioned Robert Downey Jr. with his past that he had. We questioned him as Iron Man. We always question these actors as these characters. And they work out great. Let's go back here. Your topic. What do you think about ketchup on your hot dog? I don't like hot dogs. Like I said, I'm a picky eater, and I don't like the way they smell. Reading a lot of articles saying there were talks of Tom Hardy playing young Wolverine. I have heard that. I've heard of Tom Hardy playing as Wolverine. I've heard that for a few years now. Looks-wise, throw it my way. That is absolutely fantastic casting to put Tom Hardy as Wolverine. I would love it. Shame he's already a Marvel character as is. Who is he as a Marvel character? You're going to crucify me because I'm not remembering this. Who is Tom Hardy as a Marvel character? The other issue is on TVs. I would need to get an older TV as my TV doesn't have a SCART socket. Oh, UK. Oh, backwards compatibility is important as I've had older consoles burn out and cost a lot more the need to fix. Oh, okay. That's the reason the Retrons sell so well. What the Labo needs is a tripod and red scaling. I'm jumping ahead here because I rambled on like I always do. I like him in Harry Potter. I saw a Game Explains video on it, and yeah, it's one versus CPU. All the VR does is let you look around the stage more. Yeah, it's pointless. But yeah, Player Michaelis, I did oh yeah, he's Venom. I forget that those movies are supposed to be canon in the Marvel universe. And now I can't see Iron Man. Yeah, now I can't see Iron Man as anyone but Robert Downey Jr. My stupid screen keeps scrolling. Who is Rich Evans? What as Rich Evans? Not Rich Evans, Chris Evans. I would watch a Batman Beyond movie day one. Let's see here. Yeah, he was Venom. Did they confirm that they are MCU characters? Sorry if I'm behind on current tangent, but on the subject of Death Stranding, how you feel about it? Have you ever played Life is Strange? I have not played Life is Strange. I have not played Life is Strange. I feel it has similar emphasis on the story and its cinematic aspects, less on the gameplay. Yeah, so as a game, Life is Strange is probably boring, but as a story, it's probably super interesting. He played the role well. I just don't like the role. Oh, Venom is sorta MCU. Venom isn't MCU. Yeah, did they specifically? Oh, what I meant to say. What about Rich Evans as Wolverine? Rich Evans, I am not familiar with. I don't know the person by name. Yeah, it's still separate from the MCU. I would like if they. I want to see that movie. I actually haven't seen Venom, and I like the Venom character. I think the Venom character is a very compelling kind of character. I like Venom because Venom is sort of relatable to us as people. From what I understand, Eddie Brock did some crappy things, but ultimately he was not a very horrible person. You know, he does not like Peter Parker, and he doesn't like Spider-Man. So I like him. I like Eddie Brock's Venom because it is sort of the idea of what might happen to us. You know, a lot of superhero stories are these people that get superpowers and they become superheroes. And then the supervillain story are these bad people who get powers and then become bad people. Venom to me is that sort of. Venom doesn't want to hurt people as much. Venom wants to hurt Spider-Man. That's how I always read Venom. Venom always wanted to hurt Spider-Man and punish Spider-Man for what he has done. But he never was like, I'm going to take over the city. Like, I don't remember Venom stories where he wants to take over the city or rob banks and do, you know what I mean? Like, Venom was always after Spider-Man in all the stories that I read. Yeah, and he plays when the anti-hero. When Spider-Man's not around, Venom could easily be the hero. And I feel like that's what a lot of us are. I feel like a lot of us would get those powers and then hate somebody for something, but not hate everybody in general. Not become a supervillain, just become an a-hole to this one person. Carnage. Well, Carnage was insane. Carnage was Cletus Cassidy, who encountered an enemy symbiote. And my understanding was that symbiote did not like the other symbiote, and then Cletus Cassidy was insane. So that's where Carnage came from. Carnage, who my understanding is actually stronger than Venom, or that symbiote is stronger because their bond is stronger. Thoughts on the culture of leaking games and game info before? Fox. I won't talk about that because we have talked about that before. If you do a search for my videos on things like spoiler culture, we have talked about that before. I don't like it. I don't like that we as a fan base don't get to be surprised anymore. You know, you look at all of this stuff from the Pokemon conference. That's all stuff that might have been very interesting next week on the 5th when we got a Pokemon Direct like we were supposed to get. But now we're going to watch the Pokemon Direct and go, oh yeah, Pokemon Home. Oh yeah, Pokemon Sleep. Yeah, we already know that stuff because we got it before we should have gotten it. Now we don't get the big reveal. But yeah, that's it wrapped up. Carnage is confirmed in the Venom movie. Yeah, that means that's the thing. It may not be very gameplay intensive, but the story for Death Stranding could be interesting, and that's why I feel most people buy these types of games. Even if they're not that heavy in the gameplay. The interesting story will keep the game from being... No, Neon Mole, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. But what I'm saying is that the hype that they've been building for the game so far, that's not what the hype has been. The hype has been that you're going to experience something more than a game, more than gameplay. You're going to have this sort of life experience when you play the game. And that's not what it's going to be. It's just going to be a good video game. Yeah, my complaints about Death Stranding are not related to the game itself, but the kind of hype around games like that, where they act like the game is going to be so much more than a video game, and it's not. It's just going to be a video game. Thank you, Lilac, for the 10 daily bits. Running low, gotta restock soon. Ooh, maybe we'll throw some zeros in with that 10. Probably on the left side, so it'll be 0010. I like Carnage as a villain that would test Spidey's no-kill rule. Yeah. An evil so terrible, I wonder if the world... Okay, so here's the thing, though. The no-kill rule, they kind of threw out the window with Endgame when he very quickly activated kill mode and it started killing all of those creatures. Yes, they were creatures, so it's understandable. These were not conscious human beings that we know of. They're not conscious beings that had intelligence. They might have just been mindless creatures. But sorry, Endgame spoiler. There's a scene where he activates kill mode and it just starts killing the things. You kind of throw a little bit of that out the window when you've got it, when your suit has kill mode and you're using it. Carnage is evil, but did he steal 40 cakes? No, Luther did. But Omega, but the cake was a lie. Were they mindless husks, and it was the suit killing, not Spidey. Lilac. That's like running somebody over with your car and saying the car did it. The suit killed them because he said activate kill mode. He did it. Yeah, and that's the thing. And Cosmic, yeah, they were gonna kill him first. So yeah, that's why I don't really argue with the Spider-Man doesn't kill. So this is ridiculous. No, they were mindless creatures that were trying to kill him. So that's fine. I'm okay with it. My issue is just that someone said that it's going to test Spider-Man's no-kill rule. But if Carnage is blatantly trying to kill him, I feel like Spider-Man should just go ahead and kill him, even though he won't. No-kill rule in comics do ignore non-human characters. Yeah, they kind of do. They really do ignore. They ignore non-human characters as long as they prove themselves to be mindless husks. So I guess that's going to argue that he will not want to kill Carnage because he's going to see clear, and that's all Carnage would have to do. Carnage is crazy but scheming. So all Carnage, if Spider-Man could be standing over Carnage holding a car ready to smash him in the head, and Carnage's face is going to drop away, and you're going to see Cletus Cassidy. Cletus Cassidy's going to say, "Oh, don't kill me! It's the suit making me do it." And then Spider-Man's going to get off of him, and then Cletus is going to stab him with an axe. Speaking of Death Stranding, thoughts on overhype, or the idea of it anyway. Oh, well, that was my thoughts on overhype. My thoughts on overhype are you're ruining it. I love hype, but don't hype it the wrong way. It's up to you to scale your hype down. I'll use that next time I run someone over. Thanks, Greg. Lilac, go ahead and don't credit me on that. They threw the kill rule out the window when they released Ghost Rider. That alone killed Cage's career. That's not the same Marvel. Mark, you and I are not talking about the same Marvel. And I will make sure that everybody knows that. That is the Marvel that gave us Elektra. So no. Non-kill rule also doesn't apply to Japanese ninja. Thanks, Daredevil Netflix. Well, those Netflix shows are way different. Although we watched, again, sorry, spoilers. We watched Hawkeye slaughter dozens of people in Endgame. So there you go. And they were not Chitauri creatures. To quote Genie from Aladdin Return of Jafar, you'd be surprised what you can live through. Wow, I'm surprised somebody remembers that movie. That's more Venom. Carnage is a murderous monster. I think Carnage has some cleverness to him. He's insane, but I think there is a little bit of cleverness to him. You're right, though. That's probably more of a Venom thing. Ooh, there's a movie I hated. No, what killed Cage's career was Wicker Man. Yeah, Wicker Man was pretty... I watched that movie. I watched Wicker Man not knowing what that story was about. And wow, what a bummer of an ending. He's misunderstood. Well, I'm off to D&D. Lilac, I'm jealous of you. Have a good night. Enjoy. Roll a 1. if you roll a 1, think of me when you do it. Netflix Daredevil had a personal. Oh, somebody asked me earlier if I saw the Punisher Netflix show. I did. I don't think I watched. There was a season 2, I believe. I did not watch that. VV239, what's going on? Not the bees. Bees! They're huge and they're sting crazy. If you want to be technical, Batman has killed before. Granted, they're still usually Batman from other universes, but still. And what canon? Is that the comic books? Is that the movies? Is that some of the cartoons? I thought Carnage was an alcoholic like Dracula. I don't know. I just know that he's insane. Unless they retconned his character or something. They're in my eyes. Oh, God, yeah, the Wicker Man. Jesus. What a terrible movie that was. It shouldn't have been a horrible movie, but it kind of was. I'm putting cards in sleeves. So many cards, so many sleeves. You're either playing Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or possibly Pokemon. I think some of the hip kids still play Pokemon. But that is going to do it for today. We are at the end of the show here. So thank you everybody for stopping in and for hanging out and for talking all of these crazy topics and listening to my rambles. If you are watching this right now and you have not clicked follow, please go ahead and click follow. Also, check the links down below to go follow me on Twitter. That's where I post any information as far as stream updates, what we're going to be doing. If you are watching this on YouTube, also go ahead and click subscribe, I guess it is, on YouTube. It's follow here, it's subscribe there, but you can subscribe here, but you can also do another subscription on YouTube. It's very confusing. But yeah, go ahead and click follow, subscribe on YouTube, and also check the links down below. Follow me over on Twitter at SilverGreg78, and again, that's where all my updates will be. That's it. Have a good one, everybody. Right? Did I get everything? I think I got everything. So have a good one, everybody. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself this weekend. Next week on the 5th is going to be that Pokemon Direct, so we're going to get all of the information that we already got 2 days ago. Or yesterday, whatever day it was that we got all that information. And next week is going to be E3 predictions, because I believe that's the episode before E3. If not, it'll be the week after. So don't quote me on that till next week. There we go. So have a good weekend. Play some fun games. Enjoy each other's company in some way or another. Don't do it on Mario Maker 2 because you can't. And I will see you all